Hi everyone. In last lecture series, we have seen in detail about the working principle and working mechanism of size exclusion chromatography. And in this lecture series, we can see in detail about the principle and working mechanism of hydrophobic interaction chromatography. Coming to the introduction of hydrophobic interaction chromatography, this is a widely useful technique for separation and purification of various biomolecules. And in this technique, it is initially involved salting out method, whereas this is widely used for the protein purification and isolating protein complexes and also for doing various protein folding and unfolding techniques. Coming to the principle of hydrophobic interaction chromatography, this highly involves the separation and purification of various biomolecules and proteins based on their hydrophobicity and solubility. Here, this involves in this type of chromatography, hydrophobic groups like phenyl, octyl and butyl are highly attached to the hydrophobic columns to separate out proteins and biomolecules. Whereas here, proteins is highly rich in amino acid groups, that is highly hydrophobic in nature, that can be easily bind and attract towards the hydrophobic groups that is in column. In this diagram, it is shown that at low concentration of salt solution, here the hydrophobic groups are not forming aggregates, whereas at high salt concentration, the aggregates are formed due to the hydrophobic region's attraction. In this hydrophobic interaction chromatography separation, here we have often used to design the oppositely charged particles that can come and give a strong strength to separate various particles. This will be highly opposite to that of separation made by ion exchange chromatography. Here in this separation, we will use a buffer with high ionic strength, usually ammonium sulfate, which can be applied to the column to separate various biomolecules and proteins. The salt in the buffer reduces the solvation of sample so that when this solvation reduces, hydrophobic regions can be highly exposed and can be adsorbed to the column very easily. In this hydrophobic interaction chromatography separation, the various proteins and different complexes can be eluted out based on their concentration and hydrophobicity. Whereas the more the hydrophobic the molecule and the less salt concentration is needed for best binding. So to elute out the proteins, the concentration is gradually reduced. So elution on both species in order to reducing the hydrophobicity. So whenever the hydrophobic nature is reduced, different components at different hydrophobic levels can be eluted out. So additionally, to elute different proteins, we can also use some organic modifiers or detergents for its elution. So the stationary phase is designed to form hydrophobic interactions so that the best protein can be eluted out first. Whereas this interaction is too weak with the water. However, addition of salts to the buffer results in the hydrophobic interactions to give best elution. This hydrophobic interaction chromatography separation mainly involves some basic theories. That involves salting out and hydrophobic interactions and thermodynamic theories and also about surface tension and van der Waals forces for attraction. Whereas in salting out and hydrophobic interaction, this hydrophobic interaction happens at lower salt concentration than that happens at precipitation. Whereas in this thermodynamic theory, this highly equates to the Gibbs free energy equation, that is del G will be equal to del H minus T del S. And coming to surface tension and van der Waals forces, the force that increases when order of water increases in the presence of salt concentration. In this hydrophobic interaction chromatography, mainly the water molecules that is highly interacted with high salt concentration. Based on the salt concentration and solubility, the different molecules can be attracted towards each other based on their hydrophobicity. Whereas this is depicted with the help of graph where solubility and salt concentration can be added with this graph. Here, whenever the salt concentration at low, its solubility is high. By increasing salt concentration, solubility will also increase. After the solubility reaches its saturation point, it starts decreasing even for high salt concentration. So in this hydrophobic interaction chromatography, mainly the protein complex that gets interacted towards the various hydrophobic groups. So this involves certain protein interaction mechanism. So when an hydrophobe is immersed in the water, it is surrounded by water molecules, that is in ordered form. So after addition of salt to this mixture, the water molecules forms hydrogen bond with the salt. So this forms the disordered formations of water shell around the hydrophobe. Whenever the protein is introduced to minimize the entropy, the protein forced to merge towards the hydrophobe and finally it can be precipitated and eluted out easily. The hydrophobic interaction chromatography working principle can be demonstrated with a diagram. In this diagram, the column of hydrophobic interaction chromatography is highly attached with a resin. whereas whenever we are adding to the resin, hydrophobic groups get highly interacted with this resin. After this resin forms an interaction between the hydrophobic ligand and the resin by using a spacer arm. So this resin complex will be highly complementary to the proteins that to be eluted out. Whenever we are adding protein for elution, this gets complementary attachment with the hydrophobic group. So the protein gets retained for a particular period of time. So this hydrophobic interaction chromatography column mainly involves 3 different phases for eluting different proteins based on their hydrophobicity. First, it involves binding of protein complex with amine groups to that of hydrophobic groups in the column. So this forms resin, hydrophobic group and protein complex, whereas this gets retained to the column for certain period of time. After this, it involves washing component. So in this washing component, we have to make the van der Waals forces to be weakened so that various impurities that is attached to the solution sample can be removed off. After this, after washing of this particular HIC, we have to enter into the elution column. In this elution column, we have to use elution buffer at different concentrations. This elution buffer can be elute out the proteins of different ranges of hydrophobicity in their order. Coming to the advantages of HIC, it involves large volume of sample that can be loaded and can be easily eluted out. And the samples with high ionic strength can be used for different elution based on their hydrophobicity and solubility with the different salt concentration. And it is well suited to use before gel filtration, ion exchange and affinity chromatography, whereas it can be used for sample that is eluted with low salt concentration. This also involves purification steps that generate large sample volume can be coupled with this method, whereas it can be well suited for samples after ammonium sulfate fractionization, and this technique may require pre-treatment of samples. Example, when we are using or reducing the ionic strength of particular samples can be loaded in this HIC. And samples can be used in ion exchange chromatography steps can be used and pre-treated by using in this HIC. Since this HIC is highly sensitive, we have certain factors to be considered before using this HIC separation, whereas it involves certain factors like type and concentration of ligands that can be used, and also the type and base of matrix that is used, and also the type and concentration of different salt solutions, and coming to pH and when temperature and some additives added for elution. In this HIC separation, we have lots of applications. Some of them are, first one is HIC in combination with ammonium sulfate precipitation. So in this combination, it can be used for crude purification of human autotoxin, whereas this can be highly used in HIC was used for initial purification of autotoxin. For example, a human 125 kiloprotein which stimulates the tumor cell motility. And coming to HIC in combination with ion exchange chromatography, it is highly applied for purification of recombinant HIV reverse transcriptase enzyme, and also in purification of mammalian transcriptase, and it is highly useful in micropurification of GTPase that activates the proteins. Coming to HIC, that is used in combination with gel filtration. So it has a major advantage with adsorption chromatography is the possibility to achieve a decrease in sample volume with increasing purity. So that in this scheme, HIC is used for using a very minimum amount of samples to use to elute a very pure proteins. And HIC is also called as single step purification technique. Coming to other applications of HIC in research laboratory, this involves by using this HIC, you can highly purify the phenyl cellulose Cl4b that can be used for exchanging of different protein bound detergents. And coming to octyl cephirose Cl4b has been used for the separation of different forms of dermatan sulfate proteoglycans. And this can also have applications in preparative and large scale applications, whereas it involves purification of a monoclonal antibody and clinical trial studies of passive immunotherapy of HIV. And it also involves purification of recombinant protein from epidermal growth factors from yeast. And this also involves the purification of monoclonal antibody for various diagnostic uses. And this involves purification of recombinant Pseudomonas aeruginosa exotoxin produced from E. coli. Let us come to the end of this session. Hope you have all understand the working principle and working mechanism of hydrophobic interaction chromatography. In forthcoming session, we can see in detail about the principle and working mechanism of affinity chromatography. Thank you.